Really high bank fees that were charged to our clients.
Everyone was oblivious to the fact that the margins in foreign exchange were as high as they were.
Payments would take 5 days or so. They'd often turn up short of money because of the transaction fees. Some payments would just go missing and we couldn't trace where the money went.
It would take a lot of staff to handle the payments. It would be complicated for the students and most often than not for the parents as well. And the payments would arrive in Australia short.
So sometimes there were some fees, like hidden fees, that we could not control, and the student at the end, or either they need to pay for that, or we needed to assume that sort of cost.
Most of the time the bank were not able to handle the payments. For example, they were making mistakes between Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, United States dollar, or the people on the counter, they're not able to make an international transaction. They charge them a lot of money for the difference of the currencies and also the transaction fees.
We'd be able to track all these payments. And this was a big shift for us because this meant less work, it meant increased productivity, payments on time, quick payments, and our accounts team now can work a lot smoother and a lot faster as well. And this has been a great help for Spibble.
The savings on interest rates, great. Service and support, great. They had to be in place before I could even go any further. But as an agent, the part that was most appealing to me was the communication from Nexpay about when a payment had been made by the student and then when it was paid to the university. That way, that transparency, we were able to see when payments were received by them, paid to the university, so that we could action their confirmation of enrolments with the university.
Our students love using Nexpay because it's very easy to use, it's translated into their own language, and they get very clear directions on what they need to do. Our admin team really like using it because they get an exact report of here's the students, here's their payments, and the actual transaction exchange is guaranteed on arrival as well, so we can clearly match up payments and deliver them to the schools. Overall, we love using Nexpay because it's efficient, they're very, very friendly, and it's just made our lives much, much easier.
Well, one of the benefits that we think is making a major change on the process is that the students just need to pay in their own currency. So they don't need to think about this, changing rates that are, like sometimes they can go up or down in less than 24 hours. Whereas with Nexpay, we can sort of freeze the rate for 24 to 48 hours.
I think that one key to me as an agent, the fact that you don't have to engage too many staff, that's a really strong point. Smaller agencies, they may find that it's not a big deal, but because we have 6 consultants here, we have a couple more branches, allowing any consultant to make a payment. It was one of our most strong points to move to Nexpay.
The best things about Nexpay, it is cheaper, reliable, faster, and the most important, it will be very convenient for my customer, and it make it easier all the job from an education agency to receive money from overseas and proceed with the payment for the schools.
I would happily recommend Nexpay as a go-to international payment system to any agents, any students, any schools, or anyone in the industry that's related to education. It is fantastic, it works.
We certainly consider Nexpay to be a critical partner for our service offering to students in North America.
I recommend Nexpay for bringing overseas students to Australia because it's an easier process for companies like us. And I believe it's a very trustworthy company with good management of the money for the students and us.
I really recommend Nexpay, even if I shouldn't, because Nexpay, it is a really strong point for an agency. So if I recommend too many agencies, I will have too many competitors to think about it, but it will help it will help to manage the money from an agency, and I definitely recommend if someone wants to handle the payment from overseas.
I'd definitely recommend Nexpay to other education agents and anyone in education because it's a payment platform built for education. They're one of the few platforms, if not the only platform, that I've come across that understands how education works and what the needs are of both sides.